The sun in Ouagadougou during the afternoon was scorching. As usual, the roads were filled with activity. People walked back and forth, shopping and selling, as automobiles and motorbikes navigated through the throngs of people. The smell of roasted corn filled the air. Through the boisterous bustle walked Mr. Dumbia, an old man. He was about 75 years old, lean, with a slightly bent back from age. His hair was white and radiated in the blistering sunlight. Years ago, Mr. Dumbia was one of Burkina Faso's most revered teachers. He had taught thousands of children, and many of them went on to become powerful men and women in the country. One of his brightest pupils was now the president, none other than Ibrahim Traoré. Although he had earned his respect in the past, life had become difficult for Mr. Dumbia. He had no pension, no family, and his small house was collapsing. Still, he was grateful to God just for existing. It was on this hot day that he chose to spend his accumulated coins on one of his favorite snacks, roasted corn. Standing at a corner in the market was Mariam, a woman who sold corn every day. Famous for her rough language, gossiping, and being crude, Mariam disrespected a lot of customers, particularly those she did not like. For no apparent reason, she never liked Mr. Dumbia. She said he seemed too proud for a poor man. When Mr. Dumbia approached her stall, he said with a kind greeting, "Good afternoon, my daughter." Mariam answered without kindness. He indicated politely to a roasted corn. "Please, I want to buy one." "How much money do you have?" she challenged. Mr. Dumbia drew out some coins and handed them to her. "That is not enough," she retorted. "Trying to cheat me, you old thief?" Startled, Mr. Dumbia replied, "I only need one, and this is the normal price." But Mariam craved trouble. She took the corn and she started shouting, "Thief! This old man attempted to steal my corn. Somebody help!" Passers-by and consumers around her immediately turned. Some believed her blindly, encircling Mr. Dumbia and hurling nasty words. "So old, but still stealing," one lady bellowed. "Shameful," chimed another. Some even shoved him. Shaking his arms, Mr. Dumbia begged, "Please, I am not a thief. I just wanted to purchase corn. I gave her everything I had." Nevertheless, Mariam continued shouting. He attempted to pick up the corn and flee. I prevented him from doing so. She raised her voice further, and the crowd was getting bigger. Some even started recording the situation. No one heard the old man. Tears were welling up in his eyes. His heart was hurting. He never imagined he would be embarrassed like this at an advanced age. A black official car whizzed by the market at that moment. President Ibrahim Traoré, who had been out attending a meeting and taken a different route, was inside. He heard the commotion. Stop. As soon as he saw the man in the middle of the crowd, his heart sank. "That's my teacher," he whispered. Without hesitation, he moved into the crowd. His guards tried to clear a path, but he said, "No, I'll handle this myself." Members became quiet as they saw the president. Some gasped, others moved back in shock. Mariam, still screaming, cut short her sentence. Panic filled her eyes. "Good afternoon, sir," she stuttered. President Traoré's features were untroubled but firm. His gaze settled on his former teacher, who was openly devastated. "Mr. Dumbia," he spoke softly. The old man lifted his gaze, amazed by the sight of his former pupil. Tears flowed again. "Ibrahim, my son," he breathed. The president stepped forward and softly grasped his teacher's fragile hands. "Sit down," he instructed. A guard hastily fetched a chair. The president faced the crowd, his voice firm and brimming with controlled anger. "Who charged this man with theft?" Mariam's legs shook. She hesitantly raised her hand. "I did," she confessed. "Speak loudly," he told her. "Explain what occurred." She started her tale. "He came to purchase corn, did not accept the price, and attempted to steal one." The president remained silent, then addressed Mr. Dumbia. "Is that so, sir?" "No, my president," the old man wept. "I offered her everything I had. I only requested one." President Traoré nodded, then returned to Mariam, his tone stricter. You charge a man who has taught generations, more than one roasted corn. Have you no honor? The crowd stood stock still in silence. Many wished the moment they had joined in insulting. Miriam started to perspire. I didn't mean— Enough, the president snapped, his temper now clear. You didn't mean? You embarrassed him in front of the whole place. You labeled him a thief because you dislike him. But let me tell you, this guy contributed to developing this country. The crowd put their heads down. You think he's proud? While you were still in your mother's womb, this guy was shaping minds in schools all over this nation, the president went on. He turned back towards Mr. Dumbia. Without this man, I might never have been president. He taught me to read, to write, to respect, and to lead. The president's voice caught a little with emotion. And here we are insulting him over corn. What has happened to our hearts? Some started crying quietly. Others dried their eyes. The president looked at Miriam once more. You will be detained for false accusation. Your hatred came very close to destroying an innocent man. Forgive me, sir, she wailed, kneeling down. Stand up, he stated firmly. Don't beg me, beg him. She crawled to Mr. Dumbia, still crying. Forgive me, sir, I was mistaken. I lied. I don't know why. Mr. Dumbia looked at her kindly. I forgive you, my daughter, but never again destroy someone's name because of hate. President Traoré nodded but remained stern. Forgiveness doesn't erase consequences. You'll still face the law. Let this be a warning to others. Turning to face the crowd once more, he declared, Never ruin a person's life with lies. Today it was Mr. Dumbia. Tomorrow it will be you or one of your loved ones. Yes, sir, the crowd whispered. Miriam was escorted away softly by officers. The market gradually fell quiet. Everybody felt embarrassed. The president remained by the side of his teacher for a moment, pondering the brutality he'd just witnessed. Drive my car, he instructed his guards. It moved forward. He opened the door for Mr. Dumbia himself and guided him in softly. We go home, sir, he said with great respect. As the vehicle drove off, the crowd remained silent in awe. Within, Mr. Dumbia sat in stunned silence. His former student had stood up for him in front of a whole nation. Tears streamed down his furrowed face. My son, he said at last, his voice shaking, what you've done, I'll never forget. President Traoré grinned kindly. No, sir, you are the one who saved me. You instilled values in me when I was a boy. Mr. Dumbia smiled, slowly nodding. I am proud of you, Ibrahim, very proud. They rode in silence for a bit. Then the president continued, Many of your old students still talk about you with respect. Doctors, lawyers, soldiers, farmers. Mr. Dumbia stayed humble. I only did what God required of me, and you did it well, said the president. When they reached the palace, guards opened the gate. Officials gawked in amazement as the president assisted the old man out. Prepare a guest room, he ordered. He will share my room for now. That evening, for the first time in years, Mr. Dumbia slept soundly. Soft bed, clean linens, air conditioning, and proper food. God had not forgotten him. The next day, the president held a national press conference. With Mr. Dumbia beside him, he addressed the nation. Yesterday, something painful happened. An innocent man, my former teacher, was falsely accused and humiliated. Because one person allowed hate to poison her heart, this man was nearly disgraced. His voice grew strong. We have become too quick to judge, too quick to destroy. This must end. He upheld his hand. As of today, any false accusation that seeks to injure another will be dealt with by the law. Addressing Mr. Dumbia, he stated, Sir, in the name of the nation, forgive us. You are worthy of honor. The nation was touched. Social media was filled with solidarity. Individuals posted photographs of their teachers. Without teachers, we are nothing, one message declared. God bless President Tro, another read. And in her prison cell, Miriam thought. The officer said to her, You thought it was a little lie, but look at the damage. She cried bitterly. 2 days passed, and the president came to the police station. People were in shock. He met with Miriam. "Miriam," he said softly. She fell on her knees once more. "Forgive me, please." "Stand," he told her. "What you did was risky. Many people have been hurt because of such lies. I had you arrested not because of hatred, but as an example." "I'm sorry for everything," she wept. "I think you are," he said. "That's why I'm giving you a pardon. But let it serve as a warning to your life. Tell the truth. Never ruin others with falsehoods again." "I'll do that, sir." Outside, the president instructed the media, "This case is closed, but the lesson remains. We must never allow hatred destroy innocent lives." A few days later, he received Mr. Dumbia to the palace again. "My teacher," he smiled, handing him some documents. Mr. Dumbia read them, then smiled with happiness. The president had constructed him a lovely, modern home close to the city. "My son, this is more than enough." "You deserve it, sir. But that's not all. I opened a small bookshop for you. You don't have to manage it. Just be surrounded by books. Enjoy it." Mr. Dumbia was filled with emotion. "This will give me a reason to wake up every morning. It will keep me strong." The president smiled. "You're still wise, sir." They hugged warmly, the student and teacher, bound by respect and love. The tale of Mr. Dumbia and Miriam went far. It became a national lesson. Honor the elderly, respect teachers, shun hate, and speak truth. And for Mr. Dumbia, his last days were not filled with shame, but with peace, dignity, and honor.